So we're now using Internet Explorer, and we're going to use Windows Live Image Search to find an image of a clock face. Live Image Search presents its results in a quite easy to use way. So if I just put in clock face here and search, I'll then get some results back. And it presents them nicely in that you can just sort of scroll down and see them in a kind of never-ending list. Now, many of these will be fine to use, so I just need to pick one. And let's say this one looks okay, so let's pick that one. And click the image URL and just right-click it and choose copy. And then I'll go back into PaintShop Pro, and I can then paste it. And I'm going to edit and paste it as a new layer. So that then appears, and I need to resize it a bit to make it work with our image. Now, as I resize it, it's hiding the image. So what we need to do is look at this layer and just reduce the opacity so it becomes semi-transparent. And when we do that, it means we can then see through to our layer. So I'm going to just continue to drag it out somewhat, and I can center it a bit. And I'm going to drag it a bit bigger. And do a little bit of alignment until it fits our clock face pretty well. And that's not too bad, actually. So you can now see where the numbers need to go. And if I move this layer behind our numbers layer, so our numbers appear on top, I can now start to position these in a somewhat more accurate way. So if I select the number 12, and then I can just sort of move it down so it fits exactly over that number 12. Similarly for the number 1. I now know, and if I switch that image off for a second, I can see the alignment's working pretty well. And again, I can copy that image and paste it as a new vector selection and put it here. Right click and right click and change it to the number 2, and that make sure that's well aligned, and so on. So I'm going to do the rest of these rather than make you watch me do them, and then we'll pick up the video. I'm going to pause it for a second. Okay, so I've filled them all in now by hand, and you can see they line up nicely. So if I switch that background off, we just get our clock, and it looks pretty good, which means I've now finished with this image, and I can right click and delete it. And yes, I do want to delete it, and it's gone, and all we're left with is the image that we've created so far, and we're not using someone else's image, but it has been really useful just to get it nicely lined up. So that's looking pretty good for our clock face. It's pretty simple, but I think it does the trick. So what we need to do now is save it away in a format that can be used by Second Life. So if I choose File and Save As, currently it's asking me or suggesting that I save it as a PaintShop Pro image, which is actually worth doing initially, even though Second Life can't read PaintShop Pro image files, because it'll maintain the structure that you see here, which makes it easier to change later if you decide you want to tweak it. So let's just call it Clock Face and save it. And then we can do the same again, and this time we'll save it in a format that Second Life can use. Now it can use a number of formats actually. The one I use almost all the time is it's a TGA file, and you'll see why later when we do the hands why it's important to use TGA. You can just use a bitmap though, it'll work fine. But for the time being, I'm going to use this TrueVision Targa format, which is a format that Second Life can read, and save it away. It warns me that I'll lose this structure here that I said we wanted to keep, which is why we saved it as a PaintShop profile. But as we got that file saved away, we can now say, well, in this case, it's fine for us to lose that structure. So it's saved, and now all we need to do is go into Second Life and import it.